But we did have a conversation, and you did say that there was that feeling of maybe I could come back and help this team.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
How close were you coming out of retirement?
Well, I was ready to listen.
And what year was that? Is that 2 years ago?
That was just last year. A year ago when they lost Carson and everybody. Where physically I felt great. Was in probably better condition than I was when I played. And so I just felt such a connection to that team and all the things that they had gone through that I actually went out in the backyard and was throwing a football around. I actually called my wife after the game in St. Louis, I think when Drew Stanton got hurt in that game, and called my wife and said, what do you think if I give this one more run? I kind of thought she would be the voice of reason because she's like, quit being an idiot. You're old. You can't play. Forget it. And she goes, yeah, I think it'd be a great story. Go for it. I was like, seriously? So she didn't even talk me out of it. So,
but you didn't reach out to. You waited for them to reach out to you.
I didn't reach out. I mean, I wasn't going. If they felt like there was a possibility that I could help them, and again, I understood that I was 43 years old.
But if Larry Fitzgerald would have called you,
he called me a couple times.
But so he knew you would do this.
I don't know if he knew that I would. He had called me a number. That wasn't the first time he had called me. Trust me. There was a couple of years after I retired where he was texting my wife and he was calling me.
But you could have, if you were more proactive.
The first thing we have to understand is what I was told afterwards is based on how it all works with retirement and coming back, that my rights would have been free game. The Cardinals didn't hold my rights. So even if they had called and said, we're interested in you coming back, I would have been placed on waivers throughout the entire
Somebody
league.
could have blocked
So anybody could have blocked it at any point in time. So it probably never would have happened anyways. Or maybe they would have just said, you want a 43-year-old quarterback.
But let's take that out of the equation.
Right.
Would you have gone and played?
I would have listened to the Cardinals in the situation, and I would have had to have done something more than just throw foot routes in my backyard.
To your boys?
To believe that I could have played. I would have needed to see if mentally the speed of the game that I could pick that up and really felt like I could help the team. Because if I'd have gone back, the biggest thing that I thought was I didn't worry about if I didn't succeed. But if I had gone back and thought I could help a team in the playoffs and I sucked, I don't know if I could have lived with that for those guys that had gotten there. That I would have, somebody else could have done a better job for them than I could have at that moment. That would have been the hardest part for me. So I would have had to have been convinced that I could go back and play after all that time off.